today, till yesterday, what we discussed is nothing but we have created our virtual machines by using multiple ways, and we using an portal. We have created a virtual machine by using an we have created an image, and we have created a template for our virtual machines, and so on. So now today we will be discussing about an Entra ID, that is nothing but our Azure AD. So our Entra ID is nothing but our Azure ID. So what is a basic background before entering into an AD? So what is an AD? AD is an Active Directory. So Microsoft, when he started the server architecture, so in the year of in the year of 1998 or 1990, NT technologies. Previously, it was an NT technologies, and after that NT technologies, Windows has introduced a new architecture in Windows Server, that is called as Windows Active Directory in the year of 2000. So from Windows Server 2000, the Active Directory has implemented. So from that time onwards, so Active Directory is playing a very major important role in server architecture. So the same thing has been introduced in the Azure Active Directory also. So here Microsoft has created a separate console or separate front for Active Directory. So Active Directory is nothing but it's a directory system. I'm talking about a Windows Active Directory. So Windows Active Directory is a directory system where it maintains all the users, groups, and your computer information, as well as it also provides your authentication for a users to log into the computers and log into the applications as well. So network access and group policies, like applying any policies like restriction policies, computer policies, user related policies. So those are all are we can apply through an Active Directory OU. That is nothing but organization unit. So this structure was very powerful structure of an uh, Windows terminology or Windows Active Directory. So Windows has used the same thing in your Azure, which is called as Azure Active Directory, which will be called as Azure AD. So later it has been named as an Entra ID now. So we are calling it as an Entra ID now. So the same concept what the Windows Active Directory used to do, the same thing is performed over here. Here also we are going to create a multiple users, and that users are uh, allowed to access your Azure portal and manage the resources. So we are creating users and groups on our Azure Active Directory, and from there we are managing the policies to a particular users or particular groups. Okay, that we will see right now. So how we are going to use, how we are going to create some policies, and we will be creating some policies, and we will be knowing more about an Azure Active Directory. So let me start my presentation once, so that it will be having a clear picture what exactly an Azure Active Directory works. This is an Azure management, which we have discussed yesterday. Okay, it's an available. Just a minute, guys. Right. So Azure Entra ID. So Microsoft comprehensive cloud-based identity and access management solutions for securing your digital transformation. It's a very good tool of Microsoft where it provides an access management solutions. So as an administrator, we need to understand about this Azure Active Directory where we used to manage our users and groups, and we also used to deploy or apply some permissions on app related permissions to the users from an Azure Active Directory. So what is an exactly an Azure Active Directory or Azure Entra ID? So Azure Entra is a cloud-based identity and access management, which we are calling as IAM. So identity and access management service from Microsoft that helps employee partners and customers sign in and access the resources securely. So this is not only available for the users, those who are which we are creating in your Azure ID, but it is also allow an external users that from other company they can access to your resources. So that allows you permissions to access to your resources. So not only for a particular user in within your organization, but from external users also you need to allow through an Azure Entra ID only. So this powerful platform serves as a fundamental foundation, and modern identity management provides organizers with the tools they need to protect their digital assets while enabling an seamless user experience across all the applications and services. So, a business continuing their digital transformation journey, Azure Entra ID becomes the central hub for managing identity, controlling access, and maintaining security compliance across hybrid and multi-cloud environment. So, sorry, actually, I'm not feeling well. So I have a little bit cough. So in the meanwhile, I was coughing. So and Azure Entra ID is it supports your hybrid model and multi-cloud environment. Hope you all know about what is a hybrid model and what is multi-cloud environment. So hybrid model is nothing but your cloud to on-prem and on-prem to cloud. So you can restrict your on-prem users also to access your resources, as well as multi-cloud is nothing but more than one cloud you are using as Azure and AWS, so environment. So where the Azure Entra ID is useful. So now what an Azure Entra ID provides. So Azure Entra ID is majorly Azure Entra ID defines with majorly three components. So which we are calling as Azure Entra product families. So which comes under an Azure Entra ID. So one is nothing but Azure Entra ID. So formally, it's not nothing but which is called as Azure AD. So the core services for managing users, groups, and permissions across your organization, and then extra permission management. So advanced cloud infrastructure implement management CI EM for comprehensive permission oversight. So it's nothing but it provides you a different types of management for your applications and for your apps or for your APIs. So and single sign on, like this type of permissions you have, extra permission management, like multiple permissions you can assign to your applications. So enter verified ID. So cutting edge centralized identity solutions for the future of digital verification. So nowadays you have seen so many times so many digital verifications is happening during your documentations and all. So that is possible only with Entra verified ID. So it's nothing but you have to provide your digital sign, or you need to digitally sign the document. Then only you will be get authenticated. So these types of features is one of the authentication process. So which is called as your digital verification. So that is also very performed by Entra verification ID. So these all three comes under a single package. So which is called as Azure Entra product family, which provides a complete identity and access management. So if you can see on the left side, you can see a different types of users, groups, external identities, rules and administrator, administrative unit, and delegation and parameters. All we are going to see right now. So we are going to explore Azure AD today, and we will be creating a users and groups, and we also will be creating some policies, and we also assign some policies to a particular users as well. So we will see how we are going to assign the policies. As I told you in a previous class that we are applying the policies on particular resource group or particular users or particular subscriptions. So that we will see how we are going to apply the policies. So in today's section, okay. Next is core security features. So Azure provides core security features. One is called as single sign-on. Single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, and conditional access. Not only these three, there are another two core security features of Azure Active Directory. So single sign-on. So name itself it says that single sign on. So it's nothing but one authentication for multiple applications. So enable users to access multiple applications with just only one secure login, improving productivity while maintaining the standard security standards. So in our company, what will happen generally? What will happen in my organization or any of the real time organization? When you log into your laptop, so when you log into your computer, when you log into when you log into a company environment, it's nothing but you are logged into your authenticated secure zone. So whenever you logged into your company laptop with your user ID and password, then that's done. So you have authenticated your identity using your security credentials, that is nothing but your password, and you have identified as an employee, authorized employee to access a resources of your company. So after that, you try to log into a web console, you log into Azure console, you try to connect your command line interface, you try to connect access an application. It does not ask you for again for a password. Okay, sometimes it will ask for a password if it is not correlated, it is not linked with single sign-on services. So single sign-on services means this is one of the secure services which of AD where we need to register our application, and then that application will directly connected with my Azure AD. So if the Azure AD allowed me to log access, then definitely I can access to that particular application. Let me take an example of application ABC is application which is uh, configured or which has been registered with single sign-on services. Then whenever a user try to access an ABC, it won't ask or it won't prompt for a password. Why? Because user is using the company laptop, as well as he is already authenticated with his domain credentials, that is called as AD credentials. So as single sign-on, this app application is registered with single sign-on and does not require any authentication. So directly he can log in. So that is the advantage of single sign-on. So a one password can be used for multiple applications. So that is one of the best feature of single sign-on. And next is MFA, multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is like second level of authentication. Like everyone is using right now a multi-factor authentication for your Gmail, for your Outlook, or for your any of the mail ID. You are using a multi-factor authentication. You are using a mobile devices which is connected with your application. You are scanning the code and your code is reflecting on your mobile, you are entering the code. So this is nothing but a second level of application. So these multi-factor authentication is cannot be hacked or cannot be cracked. Why? Because the authentication password is reflecting on your other device where you have configured. So that's the reason why the multi-factor authentication is very strong authentication. I recommend everyone to use multi-factor authentication only. And next is nothing but conditional access. So conditional access implement intelligent access control based upon the user locations and the device health and risk assessment and dynamic security. So yes. So conditional access is also called as like intelligent access controller. So where it is based on your user location, device health, and risk assessment for dynamic security. So what do you mean by user location or device health or risk assessment or dynamic security? For example, nowadays most of the companies are uh, most of the companies are using hybrid model where they will ask us to come 3 days from home and 2 days from office. Sometimes they ask us to come down to directly to the office for an entire month. So conditional access, where in a conditional access you can specify a particular subnet. So let me take when and my manager asked me to connect from an office, then definitely I need to go to the office. Instead of that, my if a manager is sitting in US, I feel that okay, why my manager is sitting in the US, no one is there to me monitor over my in my office, so I will connect from home. But no, it won't allow me to connect from my home. Why? Because I have been assigned with a conditional access policy where only the office subnet will be allowed for me to connect to my network. So I cannot use my uh, home network to connect to my office. So that is nothing but that type of conditional accesses we can provide. So location specific. So it will determine from which location you are accessing your resources. So there are multiple conditions. So by condition is nothing but there is one condition that need to be matched. So then only it will be allowed. So that is called as conditional access. Important feature of your uh, Azure AD is nothing but advanced production capabilities. So that is nothing but this is a future where Microsoft is getting very popular. So identity and protection, Entra ID, advanced identity protection capable helps in organizing, detecting and response a suspicious login activity and potential security threats in real time. So this is a service where you will be detecting as unauthorized login access, as well as so any malware protection, any malware or any virus attack on your infrastructure or your laptop. So these will be get monitored here. So we Microsoft provide a real time detection and analysis. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. Guys, are you able to hear my voice or any disturbance? Can you reply on chat, please, if you are able to, if you are facing any difficulties in hearing my voice or what? Okay, thanks. Thanks for confirmation. So just I was uh, want to know like my voice is audible to you or not. Okay. Yeah. So we are at advanced production capabilities. Okay. Yeah. Advanced production capabilities where it provides a real-time risk detection and analysis, automate response to suspicious activity, machine learning power, threat intelligence, and comprehensive security reporting and insight. So it's nothing but it provides your reports. So who has logged in and what is a login process, any suspicious activity has been performed, or any virus threats. So this is a I can say very good security tool. So identity protection, so which protect your entire infrastructure, or which protects your what you can say as applications, and which also protects your resources running on your Azure platform. Okay. So next is like one of the best thing which I recommend in our company to every company to use is self reset or self resetting. Right. Sorry. And yeah, this is all that I will. I think that is for the next slide. So add is the next thing is seamless integration ecosystem. So as as you all knows that we have main three pillars of cloud, that is called as IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So SaaS is nothing but software as a services. Deploying one cloud-based software, and we need to provide an authentication to access a particular software, like for example Microsoft 365 suite, Azure services, and SaaS applications. So we have Microsoft has its own suite for which is called as Microsoft 365. So that is called as like O365. We are calling for email and sending and receiving an emails, and we also use called as Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So which will be installed on a user application by directly from Microsoft. So whenever we purchase an laptop and we used to install a uh, Office tool that is called as Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and PowerShell. That tool is nothing but it is also used as a SaaS application which navigate interact with all Microsoft product applications, including Teams, SharePoint, and Exchange Online. Exchange Online is used for mailing. SharePoint is used for documentation. Teams is used for chat, providing some information, screen sharing, video calling, and etc. and etc. So Teams meeting. So these everything is related with integrated integration tasks, and a SaaS applications is very easily used, as well as next is Azure services. So deep integration with Azure cloud services for comprehensive cloud identity management and SaaS applications. So rebuilt of connectors for thousands of popular SaaS applications, including Salesforce, Dropbox, and Slack, etc. And you can also call as ServiceNow. So I think most of the companies are using ServiceNow for ticketing tool, and they are using Dropbox for document for uploading the documents. So they are using Salesforce also, and they are using some. There are so many third-party application tools. So which does require an authentication. So Microsoft will provide an authentication for that, so that that is nothing but providing a integration of your application. That applications need to be integrated with your uh, Azure services or Azure, so that it provides an access to a particular users to access the applications. So this is a nothing but integration of your applications, SaaS applications into an Azure. So that also possible very easily. It will be helpful. And next future of Azure is nothing but self-service capabilities. So this self-service capabilities is nothing but, so if you want to reset the password, what we used to do previously is, uh, when we are into an when I was in the year of 2022 or 2021, 2021, when I was 2021, 22, before the cloud is not so much popular, and most of the companies are using a domain environment. Then the users used to come to us and says that, Farooq, you reset my domain password. So I used to log into an Active Directory service or servers, and from there you need to allocate a user, and there from there I need to reset the password and you need to share to a particular user. So, but what happened over there is nothing but, there is a high security is not possible over there. Why? Because I am resetting the password, as administrator knows what is the password he is keeping it, and he is providing the password to the user. So generally what we used to do is, we used to keep a one default password called as test@1234. So we will provide the same, we will inform to the same user saying that, okay, your password is resetted, use the default password for reset. So he will use a default password. Why? Because one password is compromised to everyone. So before, that is a security risk. So but here in the cloud, you have a service called as self-service password reset, where user can securely reset their password without any intervention of IT. So directly he can reset his own password. Group management, dynamic group membership, and a user management group, and application access request. So if I want to access a particular access, if I want to access a particular application, directly user can send a request saying that I want to access a particular application, and if the request will be landed in your application owner, and now the application owner need to decide whether he need to provide a access to particular user or not. So if he provide the access directly, he can access the application. So there is also no IT intervention is there. That is only the user and the owner. Okay, then next is profile management. User can update their own information, like you can update your location, you can update your telephone number, or you can update your whatever it may be, contact informations, whatever it may be, you can update it, your designation, you can update anything. So it's no related, not at all required an IT to update all these details. Previously what happened, we used to get an email from a user that I have been deployed, or I have been promoted as from sales engineer to deputy manager. Just you can update my user profile. So we used to update user profile by running some scripts and all. So we used to update it. But here, from here in the cloud, this is not required. So the user itself, he can update his profile. So these are six major key responsibilities or key areas where Azure Entra ID is very popular. Okay. So next is your identity and use cases. So as where we are using this as a Azure AD. So workforce identity, and customer identity, and partner identity. So we have three different identities. A workforce identity is nothing but where in our organization, where we are restricting our users to not to access a so restrictions is apply comprehensive identity management for employees and contractors, including role-based access control, life cycle management, and security policies. So we are applying some security policies for our employees, for our contract internal employees. For our internal employees, we are restricting our resources for access. And next is customer identity. So what do you mean by customer identity? As I said, this identity, Azure AD is not only for the local employees, it also restricts your external employees. So you can manage your external employees also. So manage through Azure Entra External ID, that is formerly called as Azure AD. business to the customers, B2C. Remember this point. So B2C, B2C means business to customer. So who is a customer, who is a business? So let me take, I am the company, I am running a website, and I have number of products to sell. I have launched a website, and some customers from any country trying to access my website and buying the product, that are called as customers. That are not a partners to me. So that is called as business to the particular customer. Okay. So for customer facing applications and services, so I will be restrict only the customers have a limited access for my site, so that they can enter into my site, they can purchase the product, and they can leave. So that is what I can do, and that is called as customer based protection or customer based identity. And next is nothing but partner identity. So business to business, so business to business is nothing but collaborating and federal capabilities that enable secure external partnership and guest access management. So I want to give an access to another service provider or another business. So if I have a partnership business with more than one business authorities, so you can restrict another business users also to access your resources. So that is called as partner identity. So you Microsoft Windows Azure Entra ID will use these three main cases where it applies your policy. One is called as workforce identity, another is a customer identity, and another is a partner identity. Okay. On three bases, your Azure Entra ID works. Okay. Next, let us see what are the essential tasks which need to be performed by your Azure Entra ID administrator. Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between workforce identity and GPO in terms of restricting the users?
Sorry, workforce.
What is the difference between workforce identity, which you have explained just now, compared to
Mhm.
GPO in terms of restricting the users?
GPO. Okay.
Group policies
Right.
objects.
Yeah. Very good question, Azhar. Uh, a very good question. Group policies are the policies which has been deployed on your computer and user resources. But whereas workforce is a cloud based identity services where you can deploy a policies on your Azure resources. So whereas group policies are only applied only on a particular computer based. So whether I can take as a server or a user, let me take an group policy. I applied a group policy saying that users should not have an access. Maybe that can be a desktop related policies also. So I have a laptops, and in a laptops, the users should not have to update my users should not connect any pen drives, or users should not connect any external drives to the laptop. I have updated that policy. That policies are applied on a my user level. But when I am running my infrastructure in my cloud platform, then I require a cloud based identity where you have called as workforce identity, where that applies on a user means Azure resources, not related to your computer resources. So that is the difference. Computer resources, your group policies are applied on your computer and server base, but it's are in a user resource front. Okay. Like for example, let me take users are should not uh, uh, application users only use an ES used sorry uh, US location, not an West location. So if the users can deploy only the resources in East location, not in Central US, so like that I am restricting your users to not to access a particular resources in your Azure. Okay? That called as your workforce identity. Is it clear, as a? Thanks. Azure Entra ID Administrator performs some critical tasks to maintain organization security and user productivity. One is called as users and group management, roles and permission assignments, security policy assignment, and monitoring and auditing. So these are the four major tasks which an administrator, Azure administrator need to perform. So one is called as you are creating a users and groups for managing into your organization, and roles and permissions assignment. So and security policy enforcement. So applying the security policies like enforcing multi-factor authentication, conditional access policies, and other policy other security measures. And you are also using a monitoring and auditing to monitor your resources. Okay, continuously auditing sign-in activities and monitoring risk users behavior and generating the compliance report for an organization overseas. So this is nothing but some of the policies which we are doing it. Okay, next is nothing but uh, transform your identity management, like Azure Entra ID provides a foundation for secure, safe, scalable, and user-friendly identity management in a modern digital workspace. So, enhanced security. So, multi-layer protection with MFA. So, conditional access and identity protection, and improved productivity by using single sign-on and self-service capability and enforcing users, and simplified management, which is called as centralized identity platform where comprehensive administrator tools is deployed. So these are the three major things which used by your Azure AD. So enhanced security by providing MFA and conditional access and identity protection. So single sign-on for self-services capability that empower users, and centralized identity platform where you can manage your entire tool. Okay. So let us jump into a practical session and let us see what is a Microsoft Entra ID, and we can explore some few of the things over there. Yes, sir.
Sir, in conditional access, can we restrict the country geographical area as well?
Yes, region, we can restrict our region.
And coming to MAM also can be a part of conditional access.
MAM, MFA.
MAM concept, MAM, mobile application management,
Yes,
application management.
that will be
But-
used by our third party tool called as ITO.
Okay.
Okay, we
Okay.
need to use an iTunes as a third party like SaaS application. From there, we can manage our mobile application as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Okay, let's jump into our practical sessions. You go for your search and you can enter Entra ID. So once you enter the Entra ID, you will get a prompt. This is called as your default directory, where you have a name called as default directory and you have a tenant ID. So tenant ID is nothing but a primary ID. For each and every subscription there is one tenant ID, and you can add multiple tenant ID also. So here you can see as primary domain, so your outlook dot on microsoft.com, and you have a license which is called as Microsoft Entra ID free. So if you go for pay as you go, then this option, license option, will be get changed. So you can see here you have a multiple options here to on the same page itself. So you can add the users, you can add the enterprise, and you can add the application registration. You can register your application. So here, if you want to add some managed tenants, so here is a default directory. You can add, you can create, and you can create multiple tenants. Let me see as tenant type. Customer must own a paid license to create a Microsoft Entra workspace tenant. So I don't have an own license. Okay. So as of May 1, 2021, Azure AD business to customer is no longer available for the new skills. If you are an existing customer, follow this link. Okay. So business to customer is no longer available. So you can choose any other options. So Azure AD or Microsoft external ID. So go for next. For the configuration, here you need to mention all the configuration and all, and you need to create. As we are into an default trial version, we cannot do all this thing. We need to create some organization name. You can link with your another. If you have another tenant ID, then you can link here. So So it gives you the futures. What are futures are available? Switching to tenant is available. Release it. So all these features are there. And next is, if you have any problems, you can diagnostic here. So it's a troubleshooting where you can failed sign-ons, alerts, MFA, MFA enforcement required 20 sign-ons. So in 7 days. So diagnose, assess single sign-on problems. So resolve certificate expire, Windows 10 plus related issues, diagnostics. So all problems in troubleshoot here. So next comes to a management. See, your Enter ID deals with only three things: managing, monitoring, and troubleshooting. The troubleshooting is nothing but you have a support. It's a customer support. So here, users, go for the users. So I don't have any users. Whenever you have you created a new user, so a new user will be get created with a name called as the email account. So which is called as your Microsoft account. Here you can create a new user. Go here and say as a click on new user. You have a two options: create a new user or invite an external user. So first we will create a new user, then we will invite an external user to collaborate with your organization. Okay, so we will use as a create new user. So I will mention it here. I have only one domain, so I will mention my username is nothing but test 001. Okay. This is my nickname, and devices from the user principal name. You want to display my demo user one. Here a password is auto generated. So if you want to use an auto generated, you can use this, or otherwise if you can remove this, then you need to provide a password. I will use an auto generated for now. I will copy this. I will paste here. This is my password. Okay. Next, go. So all this information, the reporting manager, the contact, or state provider, everything, like you can add your age group settings, usage locations. You can also mention where you want to use this user, from which location user is available. So this information is required at the time of applying a conditional access policy. Okay. So next, go for assignment. So currently, if you want, you can assign any this user to a particular group, or if you don't want to assign to a user this particular group, or if you want to create this user, later we will assign this user to a group. So right now I'm not assigning any user to the group. I will be creating a group, and after that I will assign the users to a particular group. Okay, and I will assign the roles for that users also later. So just simply I will say review and get create. So it provides me all the information. So I will say create. So my user has been created successfully. Here you have a two options. One is called as display name, and is called as user principal name. User principal name is nothing but it's a login name. So login details. So I am going to log in as test user Microsoft, this one. So let's me try to log in. Okay. Use some other browser. Okay. Use another account. So I will be keeping this as a username. So next. So it asks me for a password. Let me give the password. So it asks me to change the password. So I'm keeping as my uh, my demo demo user user 01 my demo user 01 my demo user 01. Yeah. Remember this. If I forgot, then you need to help me out. Okay. Sign in. Let's keep your account secure. Say next. So here it's asking me to get authenticated. I want to use this and different authentication app. So it's asking you. So by default, it's providing you, asking you to authenticate. So set up your account. Like I need to assign some multi-factor authentication here. So it's a, I need to create and scan my image. Yeah. Just a minute. Let me do it from my mobile. So you need to download your Microsoft Authentication app here. I've scanned this screen. It's not getting scanned. So next. So I went back and I have tried to scan. It has been scanned for me. Say next. So it asked me the number I need to enter on my mobile. So I have authenticated it now. I think authentication is working fine. Notification is approved. Done. So great job. You have successfully set up your secure information. Done. So now I have created a user which is called as test01. So what this user will do, whether this user able to read my virtual machines, let us see. Are this user able to create any virtual machines or not? Yeah. So here you can see you are getting some error. You are not allowed to create a virtual machine. He is asking you to take the new free account. So you need to start here from a free account. Why? Because just we have created a user, but we have not provided any permissions. Anything to this uh, we have not created any policies. We have not applied any policies to this particular user. So this user is only allowed to log into Azure console. That's it. But he does not have access on any of the resources. Just he can able to log into the site. So what we will do right now, we will go and we will see some access related issues. Just now we have created a user. Refresh it, go to the user, account status is enabled, and you can see audit logs. So audit logs, you can see here that user management, updated user. We can see that the user is uh, logged in now. So the date, update manager successfully application, display Azure credentials configuration, and then targets. So this is a user principal which has been modified properties. Is there any modified properties or not? We can see over here, and you can see here you can have an complete user information, user related information is what we did right now. Change password, change password by using a self-service. So change username, updated profile, user started security info registration. So that is nothing but multi-factor authentication when have successfully registered. User registered security information. User registered all required security information. Means it's nothing but for every each and everything authentication methods. It is creating a logs for me. So that is called as my audit logs. So you can also have, you can see a sign in logs also, a particular user. So when the user has signed in and what was the interruption. So here you can see user is successfully signed in. So user Azure portal. you can see the location from where so the user has logged in and the IP address which was assigned to the user. So Telangana, India, and the authentication method user has used an uh, multi-factor authentication. So this is only for a single user. If you want to see a multiple users means entire uh, see it's not like that. In every company there are hundreds of users, so for each and every user you cannot go and you can check your sign in details. So we have a separate monitoring tool here in a sign in logs, which provides you the entire sign-in log information. So like you can see, I have used only test 01 who has signed in. Okay, and I was using my own owner portal which for signing. So that's the reason till only these sign-in logs has been created. So if I have multiple users, then multiple sign-in logs will be get created. User sign-ins, non-interactive users. So these are only any services. If I am accessing any of the services, it shows you service principals. I think it will be only one. Manage identity, none. Okay. Okay. Let's go back and see. Let's go back and create some. We will invite some users. Okay. Share anyone from anyone. Just share your email ID. Just share your email ID so that I will invite you as to log into my Azure portal. Let us see that. Okay, can anyone share your email ID? I will send an invite to you. Usable. Israr, I didn't get your question. While scanning not usable data found, it is possible to create the user in on-prem AD which will sync with Azure portal, and how to do and what will be minimum sync time. Uh, what is the use of Azure cross tenant? Okay. Azure cross tenant is nothing but you are that's what I said. So when you are using an multiple so whenever you want to manage your other resources from your other partner company, that is called as Azure cross tenant. So you can establish the link, you can create a tenant request and you can ask the other company users to access your resources. That is the answer for your first question. Second, yes, it's possible to create the user in on-prem AD and which can be synced. Yes, that is possible. So we will be creating we can create the user in on-prem AD, and we are using an Azure AD Connect is a tool from where we can sync it. But I think here I can give you that we will be seeing in our coming further. That will be we will have a theoretical session for that, but we don't have a practical session for that. I will explain you how you are going to sync and all. So that will be have a theoretical class we have in further. So just if I go right now with a Azure Sync creating AD, and but like most of the people here, like those who are very new to the Windows environment or the Azure portal environment, they are not able to understand how we are syncing it and all. So they will get a little bit confused. Let them get familiar with Azure, then we will see the synchronization also. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Israr, for providing your email ID. I will be creating a user. So go for manage, go for users, and I will be creating as new invite external user. I am inviting an external user. So here to invite external user, the email ID is mandatory. Okay. Israr, right? Is it my name is correct, right? ISRAR. Okay. It's singular, right? Yeah. Israr, send an invitation. Okay. Invite, redirect URL. So go for next properties. So say review and invite. So I'm sending it directly an invite. So check your email. You will get an invitation. So once you got an invitation, accept the invitation so that you will get joined. So here you can see user type is guest for Israr and user type is member for my own user. Okay. Okay. Okay, just you can see here you have multiple options like we have created a users, then you can go for the groups. Okay, here you can create a new group. Let me I create a new group thing as a security group and you have a O365 group. So Microsoft O365, which is a SaaS based application which is related to your uh, exchange. So I'm not going into that. So just I will create a security group here. So I will use a security group called as location. Okay, so let me say allowed underscore locations. So I don't want to give any description like I will give as a allowed locations. Okay. Here I am not keeping any user right now. So later I will add it. So I will say simply as a create. So I have created a group now and total number of groups are zero and O365 groups are zero. Okay. So let's go back and let us see is any groups has been created or not. Yes. Now the total groups are one and cloud groups are one and security group is one. That is nothing but we have created only one group over here. Go for all groups. So here you can see, so we have a group called as allowed group. And if you can go for uh, general options, so self-service group management, I have not, we don't have an option here to enable or disable. Okay. So why? Because I think that this is related to some restrictions of our trial account. So if you go for pay as you go account, you will have all these options enabled. So expiration. So group lifetime in days, that is also I cannot select it. So why? Because it's an normal group. Okay. So for default directory. So in a group, I will create one more group here. So you will use as an external users. Go for new security group. Say as external users. Okay. So I will be creating a group. Go for all groups. So I have two groups. So here, what I will do, I need to assign some uh, owners for the group as well as users. Go for manage. Here you can go for the properties. If you want to modify anything, you can modify here and go for members. Currently, there are no members. So I need to add a member. Select and add a member. I am adding test01 as a member. Okay. Member successfully added. Okay. I will go for owner and here I will add a owner. See, can you see here you have a three owners. One is an external, one is a demo user. I'm using an C-Code 10X, this my app as an owner. So I'm adding this as an owner. Here I can add a particular applications. If you can see here, I can go here and add, there are no applications assigned for this group. So if I assign a particular applications, these group members can access a particular application. Group membership, so you can add a group membership. So it's nothing but allowed location or external user. We have, I can select anyone from a particular group. Okay. Administrative unit. So no administrative units are there. Currently, we need to create it. Right now, roles and administrator. So here is we have assigned any roles to this group. No, we have not assigned any roles and roles for this group. Only we have assigned a members and owners. We can assign Azure roles assignment. We have a separate column called as Azure roles assignment. We have not assigned any Azure roles also, and you have an option called as licenses. So nothing has been assigned to this particular group. So we have simply created a group and we have uh, created, assigned some members and owners to a particular group. Okay, let's do it in a different way. So external users. Okay, let's do as we will add external user also. Go member of external user. Add a member. So I am using an ISRAR here to select as external member. And let's go for an owner. So I'm using Cgo 10X as an owner over here. So I have added owner and I have added a user. Go to the users and see is there any changes happened or not. Click on demo. So let's click on groups. So you can see here, this is a group. This user is a part of particular member group. Devices, if I click on device, here it reflect me a devices from where it has been connected. I'm using my mobile phone, so it has given me my mobile phone information, authentication of my password. So from directly here, you can from here you can reset. So required re-register multi-factor authentication or revoke multi-factor authentication sessions. It means that if you got any request saying that my account has been compromised or I have changed my mobile I want to register my new MFA, or at that point, some users will change their mobiles and they want to register the new authentication. So at that time, you need to rework multi-factor authentication sessions. So if you click on that, so all the multi-factor authentication sessions will be reworked, and register the new require re-register multi-factor authentication means whenever the user tries to log in again, so it will be re-register. So let me do that. So here I have done require re-register verification. Let's go back and see so whether my account is still active or not. Okay, let's go here and you log out. Demo user user. My demo user 001, right? This is only the password, right? So let me try to reset my password. It's my demo user 01. Okay, I kept the same password. Acha, 001, I think I kept. Okay, thanks, Vahid. I thought I kept 001, 001. See, previously I done my authentication process, but still it is still asking me again. It means that I have resetted my MFA. I have revoked all my sessions. Okay. I have revoked all my multi-factor sessions. I have requested to require re-register my multi-factor authentication. So again, it's asking me to re-register it. So once I try to log in, asking me for re-register authentication. So I need to process all the process. So this is a process which we need to do it. So account added successfully. The next. So this is the advantage, like we need to register a MFA and we need to create it. Yeah. Let's give some accesses to this uh, user. So I have not assigned any roles. Now here assign roles column. So there are no roles are assigned. So I will go here and I will say as assign add assignment. So what I will do is, let me check just this. You can see here you have so many options here. So you can filter it by, you can adding a filter. So I can say as a type built in. So all our built-in applications, or if you have created by default any role, you can do it. You can add from here also. iTunes administrator, or you can call as help desk administrator. You can call as group administrator, who can create, manage, and groups like you can policies. These roles are completely on AD roles. So these are not an Azure roles. So we are right now talking about not about an Azure roles. We are talking about an AD roles. So it's user administrator can manage all the aspects of users groups and users. So Windows update deployment, YAML. So these all are not an uh, what you can say, not an a Azure roles. These are all are on AD roles. So the users here can be assigned a user roles. So you need to go with Azure roles assignment. From here you cannot assign any of the roles to a particular user, but that you can assign it from your Active Directory console, sorry, from your VMware console, or you can assign through a policies. So you can assign through policies, or you can assign through uh, VMs. So let me do in a different way. Virtual machines, go for virtual machines. So Azhar, you has asked about the cross tenant. So this is a where we need to configure the cross tenant synchronization. So cross tenant is nothing but cross tenant synchronization is Microsoft Entra ID feature that enable you automatically synchronize the identity across the tenant in your organization. So if you have a multiple tenants, then you can synchronize multiple tenants in a single infrastructure, a single like that's what I said. Automation, business to business user creation across the tenant in your organization. So one what you can say as one partner to another partner communication we can use. User settings. Go for manage user features. Here I think I need to enable some features. For subscription here, yes, in the subscription you can add the policies here. So you can go for subscription here, and I will say access control management. So when I click here, access control IAM, so it will reflect me what are the rules and policies are applicable here. So I can use check access. So what are the accesses do I have? User groups or service principal are managed identities. If I say manage identities, so what are the manage? I did not create any manage identities. Okay. So I will say view my access. So what access do I have? See, I have a contributor access and I have a owner access. So grant full access to manage all the resources. This access I have, and as well as contributor access I have. So deny access, classic administrator access I don't have. So eligibility assignments, I don't have any eligibility assignment accesses. So what I will do, I will go here and see here I have assigning a role under a subscription. So these you can also do it under a resource group also. So under a resource group, if I say RG01, here also you have an option called as access control IAM. So access controls are provided based upon, as I said in a previous class, under a resource group and as well as on what you can say subscription level as well as on your resource group level. So let me take one more option. So management groups, let me see that also. I will explore the things for you, so where you can use the this is very important point, and this is an interview point of question, sir, saying that where you are going to apply your IAM policies in your Azure. So how you are going to apply your IAM policies? So don't answer it saying that I will apply through an my Azure AD. That's 100% wrong. So Azure AD will apply the policy only on your Active Directory, on your directory services. They will apply the policy, but it not applies on your resources which you are using. So let me by directly I will open this also here. If you can see enter ID roles and administrator, if I click here a roles and administrator, you can see the built-in roles. How many roles are there? There are n number of built-in roles. Okay, but all are see authenticated administrator, authenticated. So these all roles are related to your Active Directory. That is nothing but your default directory only. So customer log or desktop related, directory reader, directory writer. So these all are your desktop related, but here if I want to assign any role to a particular administrator, say as okay, let me do one thing. So I will create a can manage all aspects of users group, including resetting password and limitations. Okay, I will use an user administrator. These roles I will do that also, just for your explanation I will tell you, for your understanding I will tell you. So here this is cloud device administrator, limit access to manage device on Microsoft Entra ID. You can see here all the things are related to an Entra ID, but Entra ID, Dynamic 365 or Office 365, and these all are related to your Azure your Entra ID related roles. So these roles are nowhere related with your Azure resources. So here you are created a resource group, you have created a user group here, two friends, that is called as subscription level or your resources level. So make sure when you are answering this question, so you should answer that we will add our users under a resource level or a subscription level. Okay, so in a resource level, roles assignment, I will go for the roles assignment. Currently you can see Seco 10x has a role. Okay, but here three functionalities are there. So I will go for the roles. I will select a contributor. Okay, sorry. So I will select a role assignments, and here I will go and select an add a role assignment or add a co-administrator, add a custom role. So I can define any custom role, I can define co-administrator. I will currently I am not going for any custom role, so I will add a default role, add a role assignment. I will click on add a role assignment. I am assigning a role here on Seco 10x app. Okay. Role, which type of role do you want? So I want to say so these roles are completely your virtual machine or your Azure resources role. You can see here API management development, API build, and let me for easy understanding, containers. Okay, so desktop virtualization. Okay, desktop virtualization reader. Okay, desktop virtualization user. Okay, virtual machine contributor lets you manage virtual machines but not access to them and not have a virtual network or storage accesses. So everything, like if I say virtual machine contributor or virtual machine admin login, view virtual machine in portal and login as administrator, and virtual machine user login, virtual machine can access in a portal, new view virtual machine in portal, login local user. So manage access to a virtual machine, adding and removing role assignments for your virtual machines. So I will use an virtual machine contributor, or you can select the role here. These are job functionality roles. So there are, if you have privileged administrator roles, there are only few, that is called as owner, contributor, or access reviewer and access file sync, and like user access, and only five, only eight predefined privileged administrator roles. So if you have a owners, then it's completely owner role we will be assigning. So I will be using as a contributor role. So contributor means it will comes under all contributor options for storage and for your API. See, let me go back and see job functionality. Let me take storage. Okay, see, storage account contributor. So the name contributor itself, it says that let you manage the storage accounts, including access, storage your account keys without providing you full access. You won't have a full access, but still you will have a contributor role which allows you to access the storages. So if you select any of the contributor role, it means that you have a limited access, so that for all the services. So I will select as a contributor role. See, I have also logged in with a user called as user test user 01. So I cannot able to access any of the virtual machine, or if I can say storage, if I can go for storage accounts. So there also I will fail. I here also I cannot able to see any of the storage accounts. Okay, and if I say disks, so I can also I cannot go and see any disks are available here. Okay, now I am selecting here as a contributor. Say next. So member. So here I need to assign a member, users, group, or service principals, or you can also select the manage identities. So if you select the manage identities, I don't have any manage identities now. So what I will do, we have not discussed anything about manage identities. We will discuss later. So users, groups, and service principals for now. So say select members. So here you can see there are n number of users. So I am selecting now as a my demo user one right now. Okay, say select. So here my demo user one is now having a going to access assign as a contributor role. Say next. No description. Okay, say review and assign. So now the roles has been assigned now. Here you see contributor role. I got one option called as my userdom. Like that, you can also assign your groups also in your roles. Now let's go to my user group test01. Let's search here, refresh it, go for virtual machines. Okay, sometimes it may be issue. We will be logging off and logging out. Signed out. I'm signing in back. Now go to virtual machine. Now you got an option to create a virtual machine. Previously, this option is not available. Make sure you have, I have logged in with test01. So now I will be creating a virtual machine. Say create and virtual machine. So previously, I was not assigned or associated with any of the subscription. See, now defaultly the subscription is got. I got the subscription. So I will get a resource groups also by defaultly the RG01, RG02, RG03, like that. The resource group which I have created under this subscription, I got the same resource group. So I am using a virtual machine now called as VM02. Okay, I won't do anything here. This is a testing purpose, so that's the reason I will use uh, all the default settings. For the testing, I need to check whether I can build a virtual machine or not. So I have downloaded a private key. Okay. Submit the deployment. So the deployment is in process. So meanwhile, if you have any queries, like we are going to end up the session right now. So if you have any queries, so let me know. And one more one more task I want to provide you. Like uh, if you have any doubts, let me know. Why? Because I am going to provide a task in this in today's class. Why? Because this is a very most important topic. So that is called as identity and access management. So where you will be there are multiple questions will be raising during the interview point of view, like how you are going to access, how you are going to provide an access. So the main question you need to understand is nothing but the users and the roles and groups which you are seeing in your Azure Active Directory is completely different from your Azure resources management. So you can create the users over there, and you can also assign the policies and rules to a particular user. So let me do one more test on the things what I am explaining you. So here you can have a rules and administrator. Okay. So let me go for users here. Okay. Now I am creating a user. So I have a user called as my demo user. So see, now deployment is failed. Why it was failed? Let me see. The resource side operation failed to complete successfully because reached the terminal provisioning state failed. Code resource deployment target subscription. Okay. Okay. This resource deployment is failed. It reached to terminal provisioning state. So I think yesterday we fixed this kind of issue, right? Okay. Anyhow, we will fix this later. Not an issue. Yeah. Let me go for home. Let me go for Azure, enter ID. If I go and create a user, let me say I want to create a user called as test002. Okay. Say I am in a user test001. So I am going to create test002. Let me see whether it's allowed me or not. My demo user 02. Copy this password. So review and create. Validation failed. Required information is missing or not valid for following task. So it's saying me that validation is failed, required information is missing, are not valid for this task. So I am not valid user to create another user. So what I will do right now is I will go to demo user, and here I have some assignment rules. I am going to assign some rules for this group of user. Let me search in it. User. Okay. User administrator. I am selecting this as a user administrator. I am clicking on add. So when I successfully, I have assigned one role that is called as user administrator. So you can see the resource name is a directory, and it's a built-in resource. Now you can go here. for basics. Refresh once. Create. Still it's facing issue. Let me come out again. Refresh again. Sorry. Go for enter ID. Say add. Say create user. Test 002. My demo user 02. I'm taking this password. Okay. Say Debian create. Right. Now successfully created. So successfully created a user. I have created a user. The user test 01. Why previously he was not able to create the user because he does not have a permissions. So now he can manage. He can manage the users. He can manage the groups. So like you can see, you have a different uh, groups here. You can create the groups or you can manage the groups. So this is a entry level permissions, or you can call as directory level permissions, which has been assigned to the test user 01, right? So here, this is the differences what I want to show you. So this is a user group level permissions. So make sure whenever you are answering this type of questions in your interview point of view, so these two are different roles and responsibilities. So assigned roles means is nothing but if you are assigning your roles from your directory enter ID, that users are allowed to manage your enter ID. And here you can see there are multiple roles. You can call, you can ask me like we have an AI administrator, application administrator, application developer. So can create an application registration independence on using a users can register. We have multiple options in Active Directory. So Active Directory is not only a directory services. Here you have a delegate admin enterprise application. You can create an application and you can register the applications. Okay, and for that you require a separate group. You will be creating, like for example, let me say that I have an deployment team or application team, those who are using an application registrations. I want to provide access. What I will do, I will create one security group. I will add all that users to that particular application security group, and I will assign that group as a role. I will assign one role as an application owner role or application role to the particular group. Let me application administrator can create manage all aspects of application. I will create an application administrator role for that group so that they will manage their own application. That applications are related to Azure AD. Okay, so that you need to concentrate on that. Okay, so let us troubleshoot why we have not able to create a virtual machine in this. So virtual machine, we have one task got failed, deployment was failed. Why it was failed? The resource group failed. Additional details for the okay. Mhm. Sorry, sorry very much. Yeah, see, zone allocation is failed. The code is the zone is here. They are not able to allow a particular zone. Now we will select some different zone and we will try. Yes. So it's failed. Why? Because the zone allocation is not there. VM is set, but it was failed or it is not able to start. Let me see. Let me try to start it. Virtual machine is failed. The status with the error details. Click on start. So we have selected the standard B1S. So I think that was an issue. Failed to start your virtual machine, VM02 error allocation failed. You don't have a sufficient capacity for the requested VM size in that zone. So the zone we have selected as a East Zone US1. So we will change the type, not an issue. That will not be an issue for us. So we will go for availability and scale, and we will select a size. See, I am not working under a main user account. I am doing all my tasks under a test 01. So I am not a Seco 10x app. I am not an owner for that. So I am using a test 01 account. I am performing all these tasks now. Okay. Why? Because I have provided an access. So I will select uh, D2S V3. Okay. Let me select this. So I will be resizing it. Let me go through if you have any questions, right? Okay. No, because test 01 don't have user admin role. Yes, we don't have, means user admin role we don't have. So we just now we assigned and we have created it. Resizing of virtual machine is done. So let me go with overview and let me try to start my virtual machine. Let us see whether it fixed my issue or not. Yes, exactly. My issue has fixed now. So I am able to run my virtual machine. That's what how you need to troubleshoot it. You need to uh, figure out the error, and then you need to you need to target the error. What the error is displaying. Your information, your resolution is everything mentioned in your error itself. So just read the error carefully, and so that you will get the answer. Okay. So why I am telling this, because there are multiple ways for troubleshooting. So first you need to read the error and you need to try to understand. Or if you are not able to understand or not able to fix it, then you can go with some other Google Meet, Google or some, you can Google the answers and you can check. Why? Because when you goes to the real time scenario, there are multiple errors you are going to face. So in your class I can say you only few errors, but each and every environment has uh, different concepts, and you will get different types of errors. So that you need to troubleshoot it by reading the error only. Okay. Okay, my virtual machine is up and running now, right? Let us see this virtual machine is visible in my other account or not. Let us go to my Seco 10x app virtual main account. So here I will be going and selecting as virtual machine, right? So I can see the virtual machine here. So I can also see that this virtual machine is created by a user test user 01, but I can also view this virtual machine. Okay. So this is the differences which are there. So I did not got a time to explain you about the policies. So we will be discussing about the Azure policies and how we are restricting it in the next class. Okay. So before going further, I want to give you one task on this. So what I want to give you is I have created one user and one as a external user. Okay. What you want to do, I want you to do is you create multiple users. Let me take as three or four users and create two groups. Okay. One is uh, one group you mention it as group one, and another is you mention it as a group two. And in a one group, give an access for an subscription level, and the second group you give an access to a resource level, and try to try to log in with that user and try to see that what are the services or what are the resources are allowed in your subscription level. See, if you have given access to a particular resource group, then the users, those who are in a part of particular, let me take an example, like I have given access to a resource group 2 to access, sorry, I have created a group 2, and in that I have added one user, and I have said that these group 2 only have an access to say resource group 1. Then he can only create the resources in a resource group 1, but he can see the resources from other group or not. You need to check that, and you need to tell me whether what you have done today in a lab, and you need to explain me in a next class session. Okay, is it clear with everyone? ऐसा नहीं है सारा एक्सप्लेन करो बोले ना कैसा ही बोल के. So you, so see, everyone is new, so everyone is a learner, even though I am a learner. So I am giving you the training on Azure, but as I feel that I am still a learner. Why? Because it's a cloud is such a big vast subject where I too don't know so many things, but we need to learn. So we need not to make any shy in learning. Okay, want me to paste the task? I cannot paste the task. I need to type it all the thing. So I told you in a simple way, like okay, let me try it. Create two users and two groups. Remember, Wahid, when we are doing an AWS, I provided the same related task in groups and users. Why? Because I feel that this is very much important topic where you need to understand. Okay, create two users and two groups, and next is uh, assign. This is what we said. Yes, yes, yes. That's correct. Four users, instead of four users, you can make it two users, not an issue, for the testing purpose only, right? So you can make two users. That will not be anything. Okay, you do this session tomorrow. Tomorrow. So is if you have faced any difficulties or challenges in that. Okay. Okay. So goodbye for now. So we will meet tomorrow, inshallah. Okay.